Hello everybody, my name is Leo and with this video we will share the main improvements introduced with the last G300 firmware update 2.0, as I think it is a pretty substantial update. And we will also share how the firmware upgrade procedure works. Let me summarize the main differences introduced in my opinion, and please notice that this list is not complete, but I just would like to focus on the main ones that in my opinion are. First of all, it has been added support for the GNR sample files, allowing GE Labs app and MOOER Studio users to import profile amps in the G300. Then the microphone sound in the cab module has been improved. Finally, I would mention that the 2048 sampling point algorithm in the cab module has been optimized. Actually, there are also other improvements introduced, but I would like to focus this video about these three because they are gonna have a big impact in the tone we are getting with the G300. The support for the GNR file is obviously really a great addition because now you can load in the G300 profiles that you can do by your own of your favorite rig with the GE Labs app, or you can download them from the MOOER Studio Cloud. You can find the video about it in the card above or in the description below. As regards the improvement 2 and 3, let me say that in my last video I've compared the whole family of MOOER amp modeling pedalboards, link in the card above and description below. And if you listen to the more sound section of that video, you can notice that the G300 internal cab has a little bit of harshness, especially compared to the same GE sound but using my custom IR. That is, in my opinion, really well sounding. So while doing that video, I tried to experiment with different settings of the G300 and I noticed that actually the mic type has a huge impact on the tone. And I also noticed that all the other mics than the SM57 sounded a little bit better than the SM57 itself. I mean, even the other dynamic mix, like the Sennheiser MD412, sounded better. So I thought, well, there should be something wrong with that SM57 modeling. Now, actually, this firmware update changes the SM57 sound in a pretty substantial way, in my opinion, improving it drastically. So, to confirm it, I will let you hear now the sound of the G300 Plexi with a greenback cab and SM57 mic before the firmware update and then after. Let's hear it and then I will share my opinion. Now, this is what MOOER says about this update. Notice, cab sim will sound slightly different after this update due to the bug fixing of the microphone model. The bass frequency will be slightly higher than before, the treble frequency will be slightly lower than before. You can adjust it manually according to your tonal preference. Well, in my opinion, now the sound is way better, and I don't need to adjust manually the EQ, honestly. I prefer the sound much more after the firmware update. Now let's share together how the firmware update procedure works. Before upgrading, please remember to backup your patches, otherwise you're gonna lose them. Let's now follow the procedure to update the firmware. You have to go in the MOOER website, in the download section. Here you have to select the G300 downloads. And here you have all the downloads, where actually at the bottom of the page there is also the procedure to upgrade the firmware. We're gonna go through it in a few minutes. So first of all, obviously you have to download the new firmware. Once downloaded, you have to open it up and run the DMG file and to obviously install it. Done. You should press the B and D button together and then switch on the G300. In this way, the G300 is gonna enter the firmware upgrade procedure. And as you notice, the foot switches are blinking. Now you should open the G300 app and you should start the upgrade procedure. Now, as you can notice, the foot switches are flashing very quickly. This means that the procedure is working. Update success. Please reopen the app. And with the new firmware you have also the possibility to load GNR file. You have to select the amp block to search for an empty slot, and then you have to press to the plus button where you should load the GNR file that you should have saved from the MOOER website. Now I'm gonna leave you with the demo song I did for my last video about the MOOER pedalboard family. I mean G150 versus 200 versus 250 versus 300. Well, all the sound has been done with the G300 after the firmware update. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell and leave a thumbs up. It's gonna help me to create more content like this. See you in the next video. Bye bye.